And now I'm going to have Nobody Knows Me stuck in my head. Da-da-da-da. Exactly. All right, we're up. I just gotta say, I just heard myself echoing back. So we are live. Ben, are you manning the? Are you well enough to man the chat?
Yes.
I wasn't sure. Just checking. I know you've been a little down for the count, so.
No, I'm fine.
Now, Liberty, I have a challenge for you. I've seen Stefan twice in the last month. I've seen Ben in the last 2 months. I need to see you next.
I think seeing Liberty in person in 2024 is everyone's goal on this podcast. I think we'd all love to. How do we need to manifest that?
Manifest, right? Yeah.
I am going to see Liberty in person in 2024.
I am going to see Liberty in person in 2024. Ever since I first heard your sweet voice on our show, I'm like, here she is, and here we are, you know?
Yeah. Well, just so you'll know, like, I am a real person. I'm not just an illusion. I'm real.
And she eats all the chocolate.
And I eat all the chocolate. Yes.
Right. Liberty is not an AI version of a co-host. She's real.
Right. Thank you.
Shall we just kick off? Shall we?
Let's kick it off, baby.
Let's kick it.
All right, Liberty, you go. You open the show. Do you know how to open the show? You remember how to open the show?
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna, Louise Veronica Ciccone.
Hey guys, it's Tony, and here we are causing a commotion for the 6th straight season, right?
Yep.
Wow. Hey everybody, it's Ben. I made it.
Thanks for we dragged him on. We dragged him onto the show tonight. And hey everybody, it's Stefan, your celebration tour correspondent. Welcome everybody to the first episode of 2024. It is also the auspicious start to our 6th year of podcasting about Madonna. It's amazing what a boy can say. I cannot help myself. But we began the show back in April of 2019, and here we are, welcoming another year of honoring the Queen. As an FYI to anybody watching, I had no idea tonight was the Golden Globes, so because I don't watch regular television anymore. So if you've joined us in lieu of watching the Golden Globes, you're a star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just turn that off. Come on,
Season 6, and they said we wouldn't last, you know?
And I thank you for everyone's doing a little bit of celebration tour color. I love it. Very on brand. Liberty, this is some sauciness. Where did you get that? Did they make that for you?
I went to the very it's not quite Gautier status, but it's House of Walmart, okay? And this is official House of Walmart.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's Veronica's Secret.
Veronica's Secret. Yes.
Liberty, what happens if you're running after your kids and suddenly, oops, your bosoms fall out?
And oops, my bosoms come flying out. Well,
you think her children haven't seen her bosoms?
I mean, they've seen her on top of the piano in that outfit.
Yeah.
Listen, I can wear this. I can mow the yard in it. I could.
I'm sure the neighbors love that.
I wouldn't, but I could do that. But yeah, you can get yourself a little celebration tour.
I was gonna say that you'll see it at the merch stand tomorrow in Boston. You know?
I mean, when I saw it, I just said, you know what? I gotta have that because who knows what I'm gonna show up to the tour in. We've seen Stefan's tour outfit.
I'm hoping that this is what it is.
Well, as we know, the Boston show has not been postponed, canceled, or jeopardized in any way. So
not
what
yet.
Was that all about?
Fingers crossed. But yeah, we will get to that in a second. For those of you watching the premiere live right now on YouTube, you will not have heard our brand new theme song. But for those who listen to the audio show after the fact, you will have just heard the brand new theme song produced by me and sung by Liberty. There is a full version coming soon. Don't have no fear. It is called Madonna Forever. Liberty sounds amazing, and there is a full song version like we did with We Love Madonna. It's a bop. You're going to love it, Ben. You're going to add this to your gym playlist. It's going to be amazing. It's so, so good. Seriously, I kind of think Liberty, I love it a little bit more than We Love Madonna.
I have to say it's more because this one has such a genuine it's about forever. It's about it like longevity, which is, who is she? She's forever.
Yeah. It's about honoring her legacy of her being with us forever. Like even when she leaves this earth, her legacy will be with us forever. Now, I know, not anytime soon, Ben. Don't worry. She made a deal. It's
like over and over. Like
it's
she
like
gets
fame.
It again.
She's gonna live forever.
Yeah, and it is so catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy. So that's something. Keep an ear out for that. It'll be coming hopefully very, very soon.
Yeah.
I also wanted to give a very big thank you to listener and graphic designer Richard Littler, who designed our brand new logo for season 6. It's an homage to the Celebration Tour logo. It looks fantastic. He did a great job. Thank you, Richard. That's why we're all sort of wearing red right now. Oh, I should put that as my background, not Justify My Love. But oh, look, there she is. There she is. Also, speaking of homage, how great are those warped images that we're using to promote? I loved doing those. Those are obviously an homage to the warped photos that Jess Cuervos did for Madonna for the Celebration Tour. I am not as talented in Photoshop at warping images as Jess is, but I think they turned out pretty darn good, and we all look great. Thank you, Tony and Ben, for allowing me to dive into your Instagram archives and just pull photos.
Right.
So before we dive into the topic of the hour, let's round robin. How's everyone's mini break? Because this was the shortest break between seasons I think we've ever seen. I feel like we were just doing the season finale for season 5 like last week. Liberty, how was your break? What did you? What were some highlights?
Short and sweet, but the best thing was getting to spend time with family and to enjoy my house this year, because this is the first Christmas in my new to me house, because we went to Germany last year for Christmas. So it's so nice to not have to go anywhere, and you can just stay put, stay somewhere, and just be. So
in your negligee.
And I just laid around in lingerie, darling. Because I'm super fancy like that.
Tony, how about you? How was your break?
Oh, it was fine. I'm this is my first winter in New York after 2 years, and it's been very mild. But yeah, it's been good.
You saw Sandra Bernhard?
Yeah, I saw Sandra Bernhard.
And me.
And you and Jess. And yeah, it was great. I mean, I had a good time that night. It was fun to see you guys and to see Sandy, of course, too.
Of course, yeah. And Ben. So Ben's been a little. Ben's been down for the count.
Yeah, Ben's had the Rona. Fuck her. Oops. Anyway, but my holiday was nice and sedate. I read some poetry, and I'm almost finished with the Mary Gabriel biography.
Wow!
So,
Snaps.
I've been reading it at a breakneck pace. So, yeah. And it's good. I recommend it to everybody who's listening or watching.
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself on retaining a lot of Madonna information, and there have been things I was like, oh, didn't know that. There also are stuff I'm like, that is not how that happened. But for the most part, it's been, so yeah, highly recommended.
You guys, I'm such a freak. I've been cross-referencing Mary Gabriel's book with Like an Icon by a friend of the podcast, Lucy O'Brien.
Oh.
And it's a lot. There's a lot of crossover, but for example, there's some things that I'm like, no, that didn't happen like that. And then you go back to the other book and it's like, oh, that's how we think it happened. And yeah, so it's kind of like I'm doing a research project, but I'm not,
Yeah, it's sort of like a she said,
Yeah.
one person would tell us, if you were both in the same room and saw the same thing happen, one person tells a story one way and another person tells a story another way. So
it's very Rashomon, but I like having like things to read about Madonna and to, have reference. So yeah, that's, a little studious, but that's something you can do at home if you're bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only halfway through because of all of the laying around I didn't read. Oops. I was catching up on my shows.
I'm still in the 80s with that book because I've been busy working on Madonna Forever. So, art sometimes takes precedence over, creating over reading. So sorry, Madonna, I've got to. But yeah, so, it's, like I said, it's only been a scant few weeks since our last episode, but there's, plenties of goings on in the Madonnaverse.
She'll take us there.
That's right. Don't just stand there. Let's get to it. It's time for a little This Week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
Madonna spends her holidays in the Caribbean. I think it was Antigua. Was it? All the kids were there. Lola, Rocco, David, Mercy, the twins, Stella McCartney, I think I saw. I think Ingrid was there.
Yeah.
Mert Atlas. No, Stephen Klein. Was it both of them? I'm trying to
Mert Atlas
was definitely there.
It was the first picture I think I saw.
Yes. What did we think of Madonna's holidays? I thought we all thought she was going to go spend time with Papa Ciccone, but alas, Antigua won out.
Like a relaxing break, which she has earned. And it looked like everybody was having a really good time. I was super intrigued by this lighted sort of kayaking that they were doing in this bay. That looked so fun and adventurous. And I love to see Madonna in outside of like what we normally envision her, on the streets of New York in this big furry coat or whatever. Even though she's still nicely covered up because sunshine.
I thought it looked great. It was very family friendly as opposed to that Jamaican Throwdown a couple years ago. So this is more like, Madonna and children,
Yeah.
Oh, you're so right though, Liberty. That's a great point. Madonna is never in the sun. You rarely ever see Madonna in the sunshine. It's like this. You just see her in the darkness.
Look at her alabaster skin. Like you can keep skin like that with any kind of exposure.
You as well.
She hasn't been tan since
Swept Away.
Swept Away. So maybe it's like maybe she's like, oh, that cursed me, so I'll never be tan again.
No, she's been doing that for. I mean, look at Truth or Dare when they're at the beach and she's wearing a hat and she's wearing, and you see her. There were a lot of those vacations where she was with Guy Ritchie and the kids were little and she was wearing those white long sleeve
those sunsuits that you don't get like sun exposure. Yeah.
So she's right behind Ben. Look at her. You can't keep skin like that if you're going out in the sun all the time,
Yeah.
No.
That's fine. There was a super cute clip that emerged where they're all singing Neil Diamond's song there. And you can kind of catch like an interaction between David, I think, and Rocco. It's Sweet Caroline, right? And they're like, touching you, touching me. And it's so like David is getting into it. And then they sort of pan across. You can kind of see Rocco because they're seated at the same table across sort of catty to one another, but it was just so
well. And you saw fun. Madonna was next to Rocco, and
she
next to her was Lola. It's like literally for like 2 seconds, and Madonna's just sitting there like not singing the song, and I was like, she doesn't do that.
No,
she doesn't do sing songs.
Well, she probably also was not going to strain her voice at this time. So
true, but I was thinking more like, does Madonna like Neil Diamond? Does she play him around the house? That's how the kids know it.
I know that one time I watched this interview the other day where she's like, I'm always listening to music. There's just always music in my house. Just, I'm working out. There's music. This was sort of an older interview, but I don't listen to as much music anymore. Since it's digital. I don't know why, but
I listen to more music than ever now that it's digital.
Me too.
Yeah, Spotify. I always have Spotify on.
Yeah.
Well, Liberty, you're not listening to music because you're creating it. I mean,
Yeah.
That's what it is, darling. Yes.
Exactly.
you don't have time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the
but there
vacation
was.
looked like a good time. It sure beat the wet and dreary states, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was a rainy New York, that's for sure. I was like, thank God I brought my rain boots for this trip. I did see a clip somebody had posted. I don't know where. I guess it was from TikTok but it was David dancing in the kitchen of some house, and she was singing "Staying Alive" in the background, and she sounded amazing. I was like, oh, good for her. Good for you, Madonna, singing "Staying Alive."
I missed that.
I don't know if that was a new clip or where that was from, but it was new to me. But and with the Mert Atlas photo, when he posted that, I immediately then posted it to our Instagram saying, "Is there a photo shoot happening for a tour book?" What is this? However, somebody commented on Tony, her dresser, her costume guy, and asked him if he knew of the status of a tour book, even though that's not his forum.
Yeah.
And Tony replied that there was a tour book coming, and he wait to see it. So there you go, people. Look, see, we kept talking about it and talking about it and talking about it, and now we've manifested it. So
well, you also can't put out a tour book for every single tour and then suddenly say we're skipping this one,
Yeah. So
sure
I'll be curious to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah, because this is like a career retrospective, so
it's going to look like the image behind Tony. I'll be surprised if we get anything new. I bet it's all.
I venture to say maybe we'll get some celebration tour photos, like of her on stage. I would assume.
Oh, yeah. Now that they've had a chance to do some stuff, because they had to change it after the dates got changed.
Yeah, and plus also think about it. All of the previous tour books have album imagery, so now we don't have an album with this tour, so there needs to be some sort of new,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it would be really nice if it had a little bit of a retrospective element where there's some pictures, going through time about her career and early, mid, and then late, and now,
a photo book biopic, basically.
And even if she could have, dictated just a brief, something written or something to be, read inside the book. I would like more than just photos. I would love
a letter from Madonna. That would be fantastic.
That would be really beautiful.
Yeah, I love the text in the Blonde Ambition tour book, and I want more.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't bought a tour book since Reinvention, probably. I just don't anymore. I don't know why, really, except for there's nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
Like how to store them, really. But and I also have just been like, well, I think I've fallen victim to that. Oh, pictures are on the internet. I'll just look at, you know what I mean? And that isn't to say that I don't like having, a bunch of Madonna pictures. I've got a whole wall next to me here, but I don't put them up in
your shrine.
Yeah. I don't put them out on my living room anymore. So
I'm a t-shirt person. I just think you go to a concert, you get a t-shirt.
Well, that's what I was always t-shirt program. And I have a t-shirt and a program from every single tour that I've been to since Blonde Ambition. And so I was like, well, I have to have one. I'm like, if not, I will make one. If there's not a tour, I will make one. And the cover photo will be my amazing photo of Madonna with Santa Claus.
Yeah. And there's no VIP tour book either.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
But maybe. I mean, who knows?
Because I enjoy my VIP Madam X. And
those tour books are amazing. From the tour book and then the VIP book for Madam X are top notch. Those were amazing. I love them. So that was Madonna over the holidays. There was also some scandal that happened that we don't tend to dive into scandal here on this show, but buckle up, kids, because there's been some controversies the last couple of weeks, last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
First, there's been a controversy happening on social media. New York City's Museum of Sex had posted a placard which basically called out the rise of music video for being the reason why artists were not supporting HIV and AIDS. And they called out Madonna and Prince and a couple of other artists. Somebody posted that picture of the placard of Madonna being called out for not supporting HIV and AIDS. And of course, Madonna fans took them to task, as they should, because as we all know, Madonna certainly did a lot for awareness and fundraising. Did we all see that placard on social media?
Yeah, and let me just say that they are so sloppy. I mean, and anyone who's lived in New York for a while knows that the Museum of Sex is basically a glorified event space, you know?
Yeah.
And reading that placard was like infuriating. Number one, they misspelled video. It was spelled VIDO. So once you put something out publicly with some sort of, appointed appointed statement like that, and you don't know how to spell, you've lost me. Like, I can't take you seriously, And like I said, the Museum of Sex, they don't make their money from people coming to visit them every day, like the MoMA or, or
museum, quote unquote.
No, I mean, they rent out for parties. So goodbye, Museum of Sex,
Yeah. Thankfully, because of the chaos that erupted when that picture got posted. I mean, Erica Bell even called them out on, it was like, guys, seriously.
Yeah.
And so I assume that poor intern got fired, whoever was the one who crafted that. Shame on them.
Or they got a promotion for the publicity.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yep, that's true. Yeah, because that's probably the most promotion Museum of Sex has seen in quite some time. And they've since corrected it. None of us have seen the correction, but apparently there's been a correction made. So anyway, if anyone...
And just to bring up what Ben said, I mean, it's like Madonna's name does get you the publicity you want, whether it's good or bad. I mean, one example, when I worked at the New York Film Festival, it's a 2.5-week event, and there's directors and actors from all over the world premiering these great films, and there's a spike in press every single day, because I was speaking with our publicist at the time. The day that Madonna came to 12 Years a Slave and texted and got yelled at, that was the biggest piece of gossip / news. It trumped everything else that happened that last 2 weeks. So it's like, don't underestimate the power of Madonna.
Yeah.
Well, that's a point. I mean, we're all at various points of reading it, but being almost to the end of the Mary Gabriel book, one of the things that becomes like a running theme for her is the fact that it doesn't matter like what the arc of sort of Madonna's career is or where she's at. She is always utilized by other people to generate attention. And she, at least, I don't know if she does toward the end of the book, but that's always been something that's fascinated me, is the ability that she both has and that other people see in her to generate that kind of attention, and why that has persisted. Is it the name? Like, is it that weird, like, Catholic sort of thing that's her first name, and it's also like the given name of the Virgin Mary, yada, 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 all that kind of stuff. But it is weird to think that 40 how many years into her career at this point,
Oh, it's 40 this year, 1983. I mean, officially,
Yeah, like a Virgin
last year,
turns 40 this year, which is so crazy. But like, yeah, people still, like, the article gets clicks, even if it's nonsense, right? The tweet gets retweets, because, core fandom that's like tweeting that kind of stuff is not that big, but it still gets like crazy Taylor Swift level attention in media circle and in conversation and discourse. And yeah, that's a really fascinating thing. Sorry, that was a tangent, but I've been thinking about it this week.
You're right, though. I was thinking about it too. Like in the last month, I get Madonna alerts, and a lot of the articles are basically just a wrap up of what she says on stage, things that we already know, but this is like what's going out to middle America,
Yeah.
Like Madonna said on stage that she's grateful for her kids, and we're like, yeah, we know.
Yeah. Another controversy that happened. So some ageist, misogynist troll posted a video clip of Madonna dancing to Ray of Light during the Celebration tour. It was very cropped, and it just showed like a very small window of what she was doing. And as we all know, she's elevated 30 feet above the audience. So she's holding on to that support beam that's on the box so she doesn't fall out of the box. Whoever posted the clip said, "Oh, look at her. She's so old and she has to hold on to a bar in order to dance." Of course, this person has not seen the show in person, so does not know that she's so high up in the air. But God bless the Madonna fans, took them to task as well. But it created a huge controversy this past week and has not died down as of today. I mean, people are still saying 65-year-old people should not be pop stars, specifically women. She should have hung that up when she was 25, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's absolute inanity. Like, it's kind of cuckoo bananas. I wonder, like Ben was saying, that she gets all these clicks. Like, does Cher get this type of reaction? Does Stevie Nicks get this type of reaction? Like, I don't understand why Madonna is constantly getting this shade thrown at her. I don't get it.
That trash would have never crossed anybody's lips about Tina Turner. Like,
No.
Exactly.
Ever.
Like, no, it's such a double standard. I mean, here we go again with Rolling Stones and Mick Jagger. They put out a new record this year. The music video they released, they don't show themselves in the video, yet they've got 20-something-year-old Sydney Sweeney spreading her legs in the back of a car, and it's okay for them to do that. And they're 80 years old, they're like in their 80s, and they're like, yeah, we're still doing this, and no one says anything,
Yeah. It's just, it's a weird thing.
But consider the time we're living in, because Tony brings up that video, and I watched it once, and I was like, people are all like tore up about this. I'm like, have they seen the Tawny Katane video?
Right, yeah.
Or Aerosmith from 1991 or whatever that was.
So then we get into a whole discussion about how kids and young people today have gotten so conservative. I'm like, oh, bless yourselves and genuflect. Hey.
Which is not even the case. It's legitimately just a focus on her age, because anyone who's 25 and under can take off as much as they want. I don't know how old, for example, Anita is, but Anita is posting 2 to 3 to 4 ass pictures a day. Excuse my.
No, it's okay. I had to unfollow her because it was too much ass.
It's just
really.
It's
I don't know. I don't even know who this is. I need to
check this out right now.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I queue up Anita on Instagram. Is it Instagram?
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's not still photos, it's definitely some jiggly photos, but or video, if you will, or clips. And Tate McRae and all of these sort of newer, younger, tighter bodies that are naturally tight.
Oh yeah, it's like softcore porn.
Yes.
Oh my God!
I mean,
if I looked like her, I'd have my butt out too.
I was going to say, trust me, I'd be flaunting. People be glad that my ass doesn't look as good as Anita's, because you'd all be seeing that on the podcast channel.
I know. I'd be screaming "Fash Costoso" from every street corner, working.
Definitely, for sure. That's why I say this has got to be like, once we all hit a certain. And in fact, the other day I was just talking about this to my husband and kids, because I'm 46. As I age, I realize that I'm
Liberty. No one would ever think that you were. You look at least 10 years younger. At least.
Thank you, darling. Well,
I got you.
I'm at now let's say the oldest of my young years, right? And I'm going to enter into the youngest of my older years. If I were a fit person doing, fit things, which I am not, because I've sort of spiraled into a hellscape of lack of fitness, but wouldn't it be okay if I, at my age, want to do that? Because even when Madonna was that age, she was still getting grief for those things. Mm-hmm. And she was never, a Debbie Gibson or a Tiffany doing things as a teen like on the public, landscape.
In the malls.
Right. Or just starting, where we are looking, oh, what's the youngest we can get them as a pop star? What's the youngest we can, and then we'll suck everything out of them. And I often turn to look at Britney as what will happen to a person if that gets so heavy.
Yeah.
When you're that young.
Well, I mean, look at what Britney's announcement this past week.
I know. I'm never doing music again.
She's never returning to music ever again. Yeah. Like, I mean, we should all be thankful that Madonna's still performing, at her age after all this time. I mean, regardless of what people think of the show, if they don't think she can dance the same or she's too old, whatever, like, it's just noise. But like, if you're a fan, I'm forever grateful that she's still doing this. And she's still doing some amazing stuff on stage. And it's like, yeah, of course, she's not moving like she did in Blonde Ambition. I mean, it'd be weird if she was. I'd be like, to me, I'd be like, that's not Madonna. That's like, that's like a fembot. Somebody's cloned her, or it's a robot. Like, this is Westworld.
Think it's a robot.
Yeah. Like, exactly. They would be like, if she was still doing that, they'd be like, no. This is like, she's taking the elixir and death becomes her or something. But like, I
just wait till Beyonce gets to this age, because the thing is at that time Madonna will have already forged this sort of path, and then when Beyonce reaches the age that Madonna is, and she's still stepping out on stage and she is still breaking people's soul, people will say, oh no, and Beyonce can do no wrong, and it just has to do with a focus on Madonna, and maybe people not being ready for it, I guess, is part of it. But
I know.
But it is weird that it's just her, and it's not Cher and Debbie Harry and Tina Turner. I mean, Tina was out there in the mini skirts and dancing. Now, mind you, the tenor, tone, and contextualized aspects of her show were not what Madonna does. And there is that edge to it, that Madonna does venture into performance art and is not afraid to be political
or sexual.
But Tina's was sexy without being sexual, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But Debbie Harry still exudes that sort of or at least the last time I saw any kind of YouTube of a live performance from her, it still had that same ferocity that she used to have. So I don't know. There's something there at that sort of apex that Madonna represents, where it all changed, and everything that comes after is sort of in her tailwind. And Liberty's right. They're all going to benefit from what she's doing. I mean, and she's benefiting some from Cher still being on the road, and Tina Turner doing what she did with the massive tours after. But it's the attention and the negativity that's just, it's such a weird confluence of society and culture.
Sometimes, being being in a high school environment a lot, sometimes I think about, is there always one person in the school or in the society or in these microcosms that we have around our lives that we always go that always draws a negative sort of attention just by others, not because they're doing anything negative, but because people can't stand that they have more money than them. Right. People can't stand that they've got the looks, that they have some talent, or that they have, are working to help others understand people's problems or lower classes or cultures, or not lower cultures. That's not what I mean to say. What I mean is communities that need representation. She helps to lift them up, and always has. And nobody likes that. Nobody likes, anybody who's helpful, not truly helpful. We want, someone who, well, that's a whole other podcast.
They want her to crash and fall and burn and go away. They just don't want her around.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
she
the
was.
audacity.
Yeah, she was so aggressively sexual in the beginning of her career, and the media is mostly male dominated, and that the old guard is still writing about her in the same way that they wrote about her in the early 90s, and it's ridiculous. I mean, she really has opened the door for the younger artists. I mean, Rihanna put out a coffee table book where she was completely nude. She did a French skin magazine, and no one said anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Madonna did the same thing, and it was like, cancel her.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, just look, like, you've got Morrissey and Iggy Pop, and they're still performing shirtless at whatever age they are, and no one bats an eye. Like, it's like Madonna dances around in Liberty's lingerie, and suddenly everyone's like shocked and appalled.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm glad she's holding on to that little rail. Hold on, Madonna. Hold on.
I know. The
You
last
just
thing we need
be careful.
is Madonna
can't
falling
know.
into the audience and crowd
Oh,
my
come on, you guys.
God.
Pink does the same shit when she's flying up there too. You can't just like fly like a fairy. I mean, it's like come on. It's just dumb,
And trust that. I mean, even in my 20s when I was going out and partying and dancing, that happened 4 or 5 times. But still, when I'm like doing those crazy moves, I'm like, oh, I need to hold on to this. Right?
I was from the pit. That box that Madonna hovers around in was literally above my head. There was a box above my head, and I was looking up, and I was like, oh my God, that is so high up in the air. Bless Madonna for not holding on the entire time. Like, if that was me, I'd be like clinging in fear to that bar. Like, I mean, hopefully that spotlight is in her eye and she can't tell how up she's going. But like, bless her, because it's high, and I wouldn't be up there.
I have a prediction to make. I watch upcoming award season. We've got the Grammys, American Music Awards, blah blah blah. Some of these little pop starlets are going to be flying around on boxes too. Watch, you'll see.
Yep.
Somehow.
And then everyone will be like, oh, applauding them for the bravery.
The bravery. Oh, Lord is so brave hanging out of that box like she's going to fall out,
Yeah.
Or Taylor Swift. Ooh, how did she get up there? It's like,
Exactly.
Well, she went on angel farts, but anyway.
Don't. Well, moving on to a more positive note. Today marks the first official day back for the Celebration tour. The cast has been posting from blizzard-filled Boston, and tomorrow will be their first show of 2024. I'm kind of excited that she's getting back into it, and mostly I'm excited because there are 2 people that I'm looking at right now that are finally going to be able to see the show. Finally, enough tour.
Yeah.
Benjamin, remind me when you're seeing?
A week from, wait, what is today? I'm in a haze. I don't even know.
You just woke up from a fuzzy dream. I think it's a week from Tuesday.
A week from tomorrow night. So,
oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Detroit.
Ooh, a hometown show.
Hometown. That'll be my second time seeing her in Detroit when the crowd's always like nuts.
I'm excited for you. That's going to be amazing.
Wasn't the Drowned World live from Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could feel that energy. And her.
Well, I was there, Detroit. That was a 2-night. I was actually there the night before it was on HBO, but they actually filmed crowd reaction scenes the night before. So the show started like 2 hours late. They came over the intercom. Okay, because we were told to bring signs and stuff, and they filmed us cheering. And there's actually like a spot in the video. You can stop it and see me and my friends just very briefly, because even though I was watching it from home the next night on HBO, and I'm like, oh my God, there I was.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
And then Liberty, when are you seeing it again? Not for still a little bit of time, right?
I believe it's April 14 or something like that. It's mid-April in Austin.
Austin. Okay.
That's the only one I have tickets for presently.
Okay.
Those 2 Austin shows.
Yeah,
Now,
and then and I'll be seeing her February 24th in San Francisco.
Oh, you're going again. That's right. Yeah. Yes, and I'm seeing her in Philadelphia on the 25th. So exciting.
Yeah.
Liberty, as an FYI, Greg, he's Greggy Graham on Instagram. He has been talking about wanting to go see the Austin show with you, and he's trying to strong arm me into using my Vancouver flight credit to join you. So I'm milling on it. I'm thinking because I love Austin. Austin's a great city.
Austin's fun.
And it's actually like a fun. I've been there, and it was terrible weather when I was there, so I've always been looking to go back for like nice weather. And I think it actually would be a good time of year.
It is
to escape work for a little bit. But let's chat offline about that, shall we?
Yeah.
I'm only seeing it again if I win the lottery and can quit my job, because I have the most insane semester coming up, and I'm just like,
yeah.
I know. Yes. I have a pipe dream that I'll be flying down to Mexico City to see it, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, apparently, I mean, people keep posting that Brazil announcements are coming imminently because there's like somebody is like, oh, I know somebody who's booking hotel rooms for the cast, or like there's like whose word is like so I assume Brazil is going to be announced soon.
Hopefully, because South America, I am rooting for you, and Australia. I'm always rooting for, and of course Japan and
No, but then again, due to highly sophisticated production elements, we don't know how that travels, you know?
Good. Okay, let's just chalk this up to a little bit of Madonna mystery, which we've kind of missed in the last, I don't know how long. But and in fact, I would have to say, like, I'm glad that there was only like a post about her vacation rather than, multiple, just because I mean, I follow lots of Madonna things, and everyone reposts the same posts that she posts and the same things that she posts, which is fine. It's your account. You can do with it what you will.
You do you.
Yeah. I just was like, I miss a little bit sometimes the days when I'm like, what's she doing? Like, what's been, and then I would imagine like, oh, she's probably just relaxing in her gym. I don't know. These are the wonderful.
Who knows what she does on vacation?
Yeah, but
she wears fantastic hats.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I hope that I get to see other shows before that. There are things that I'm milling in my head.
When's your spring break?
It's mid-March, so
there you go. Whatever's there. Sorry, kids, Mama's got to go.
I know. Well, that's what's hard is because I am a very big family person. And so I do a lot with
you like to keep it together. You do.
I do. Yeah. Hey, look, I didn't take that song for nothing. Like that is like my, that taught me how to be. All of Madonna's songs have taught me how to be.
Yeah.
But that one is very important. So
right. And your sons, Mario and Christopher, they'll miss you if you're not around. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I've thought about like, hey, family vacay, LA, here we come.
There you go. Kids go play on the beach. Mama's got to go see a show.
We have other business we could take care of there as well. So it's been all kind of something we're talking about. And then another listener has said, hey, come and stay here. You can come and see the show and you can stay in my place. And I'm just like, this is it's so overwhelming to think how loving our community is.
We have the best listeners, y'all. We really do.
Yeah.
Internationally.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I know. Like it's our listeners rock. Actually, that is a perfect segue into just a little bit of a small housekeeping update for those of you listening. Our patron supporters account is officially coming to an end. I haven't been promoting it in ages. We're trying to phase it out. We began that as a way for our listeners to support the show, which many people over the years have done. We just unfortunately were unable to carve out the time to create bonus content for the people who were donating money, because this show, just as it is, takes a lot of time. When you work a full-time job and then try to do this on the side, it's like to do additional stuff. It just never came to fruition. But we'd like to personally thank all of the people who were generous enough to donate money over the past few years. We've had some supporters who have donated every month for the past 5 years since we started the patron supporter program. We are forever grateful for you for believing in us and for supporting us and helping our subscription costs. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I'd send everyone an email who was still subscribing. But thank you. We greatly appreciate it. So,
we would like to hug and slap all of you.
Love.
Yeah. Ben, is there anything happening in the chat that we need to know about before we go?
Not. People
They're
are
watching the Golden Globes.
People are saying something about she's in Sacramento on February 24th. I guess in reference to San Francisco versus Sacramento, and then
maybe I got the dates wrong by 1 or 2 days.
Yeah,
but
and then
that's the week I'm there.
Yeah, people are like, why are you not coming to LA? Because, we had talked before about all of us trying to go to LA. Real life cut in the middle of that. And then everybody was just agreeing with sort of the discussion about ageism. And somebody did point out that the male dancer who's in the other floating box is strapped in as well. And he's probably a strapping 20-something who could triple kowtow backflip and somehow land on the stage and live, but he's still strapped in too. So
spoiler alert, there are 2 boxes.
No. It's he floats in the same boxes. When Madonna's doing Bedtime Story on top of the cube, he arrives in the box to strap her in, and then he disappears while the cube goes down, and then she remains in the floating box and sings Ray of Light. So it's just like he meets her there.
I was going to say I stand corrected. San Francisco's the 27th. So if you're there, I'll see you there.
We did get someone who asked a question earlier, and Dave just asked it again. Any thoughts on a set list change? Do we think it's going to change, or I think it's going to stay the same?
No.
Yeah.
No.
There was like a little glimmer of possibly, we thought if there was a new drop, there was something new coming from Madonna, then she could help sort of encapsulate the end a little better.
Yeah.
And especially if it is like a bop or a banger, and everybody's like, ooh, ooh.
I don't see that happening. I mean, look at for example, Blonde Ambition. That Vogue led that tour. It kind of came out, and then the tour benefited from that song. I think if anything, they would have released a song before the tour, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the standard usually for Madonna, but that's not all of the things that have been standard are
out the window
this year. So who knows? We're always welcoming.
I'm gonna spend another year of podcasting about Madonna by saying, praying, hoping that we will get new music at some point this year. Come on, Madonna. You gotta throw us a bone. And now, not to discount her releases from last year, we did get, Popular and Vulgar and a couple other, the Frozen remixes, and we've gotten some new offerings. I would just like one solo Madonna track, just give me a Max Martin produced solo track, Madonna, just something,
a little something new to and it helps to keep, especially when you're, you always want it to take off. We as a Madonna fan are always we want it to explode and to be all over the place. That needs a very specifically curated launch, and maybe
Pop Leaks posted something again. Pop Leaks, they keep saying something's coming. Pop Leaks, I don't know how much they know or how much they, how much that they are right on some occasions. And Pop Leaks has apparently said something's coming. So something's coming over me.
No, I'm just kidding, Tom.
All right, but if there are any rumors about her showing up at the Super Bowl with Usher, I'm not believing that, okay?
Let's hope not.
No, I don't think she can. I don't think there's no.
But you know how people are.
No.
Sure.
I'll settle for Beyonce making a guest appearance as the Vogue judge. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Britney Spears for LA.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say let's do quick predictions. Who do we think is going to be Vogue Ball judges? So I'm banking Beyonce, Tokisha for sure. I'm going to pray Nikki and Donna, but I doubt it. And
in San Francisco, I'm predicting Peaches Christ. That's kind of a long shot, but she is like the biggest drag queen in San Francisco, you know?
Oh, yeah, we might get a bunch of drag queens unless they're at Drag Race, but...
Let's see, for Austin, there's so many possibilities, but I know
Liberty.
Me, no.
I love it.
Maybe Matthew McConaughey, he lives there.
Yeah.
He's kind of boring, but...
Yeah, it'll be fun to sort of see who they get lined up for that. That'll be... I would love to see Britney Spears. Britney Spears, if she got Britney Spears, that would be everywhere. That would
yeah.
Somebody in the chat
also,
said we're probably going to see a bunch of Kardashians.
True.
Absolutely not.
Also, if she goes to Vegas, depending on who's at the Voltaire, she could have either Kylie or Christina at her
Adele.
That too, yeah. Adele loves Madonna.
Adele doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said RuPaul, but that ain't gonna happen.
No, honey, she's working. She's busy. She's
also,
busy.
they are not friends.
They're not. Like RuPaul is one of those people that loves Madonna, but Madonna's like got no time, you know?
Yeah. Now Michelle Visage.
Yeah.
But
she was at the show in London, and they didn't get her up there.
She did that really great podcast for the BBC. If somebody sent that to Madonna, Michelle might finally get her invitation.
Yeah.
Cease and desist.
And of course, we said like either Jose or Luis.
I would love to see
Palm Springs. Luis lives in Palm Springs.
Exactly.
Very hopeful for that.
Yeah, I was trying to think who it might be in Detroit.
Her dad.
Maybe one of her family.
I was going to say, it won't be her dad. Her dad's way too. No.
If she's going to end up in Miami, I'm sure Ingrid will make her way up there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see.
She probably was telling her at the New Year's table. Listen, Madonna.
FYI.
Make sure you pick me, okay?
I mean, why not? We got Debbie, so you know it's in the same league.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody.
Maybe she'll bring Christopher out for one of them.
Oh, can you imagine?
I think he lives in Palm Springs, actually.
I think
I read that.
Well, we shall see.
Boy, that would be something.
We'll see about that one.
Oh, somebody just suggested the Dixie Chicks and then Rosanna Arquette.
Oh, I would love that. Like that would be again, like getting people get Griffin Dunn.
Yeah.
He'd be that'd be so fun to sort of like see her co-stars.
Where does Rosie live now? She'll have.
Well, Rosie she was in New York for opening night, in Brooklyn for opening night.
Well, MSG, we've got MSG coming up. You know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
We've got 3 nights at MSG. I mean, I'm still holding out hope for Philadelphia.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out who Tony...
I'm available. That's all I'm saying.
I'm still trying to figure out who Tony Touchdown is, by the way. The whole time at the Brooklyn show, I kept anyone that could listen. Who is that? Who is that? I don't
think his name is Tony Touchdown. Somebody corrected me on a message somewhere. It was something Touchdown, but I don't think it's Tony Touchdown. But it's. I think they were making they were saying that would be your nickname since you're
All
Tony.
Right, well, I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, remember, everybody, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads at MLVC Podcast. If you'd like to donate to the show, we're on Venmo at MLVC Podcast. If you've not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, take that subscribe button so you never miss a video. We're going to be doing some more reviews with some of these fine people and listeners from around the world as they see the Celebration Tour and tell us what they think for the dates in 2024. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure you hit subscribe. Until next time, Liberty, Ben, Tony, it's so wonderful. I'm so glad. Here we are, season 6, back at it, as if we've never left.
Like we never left.
I swear, we did season finale. I went to bed and suddenly I woke up and here we are again. So
wake up in a wonderland, all anew.
Yes.
You woke up and it was like, it's MLVC podcast now.
Cheerio. That's Liberty's. She's gonna. That's her.
Yeah, 2024, darling.
Shall we try to have a holiday?
Shall we have a holiday?
Okay,
I should have you do the. I should have you do the intro. The intro in that you're listening to it.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast.
Fasten your seatbelts.
For all things Madonna Louise, Veronica Ciccone.
I love it. I love it.
Do you?
I think you've just helped Ben kick COVID. There you go.
Ben. You're right, Ben.
Yeah, I'm okay. That was a lot.
All right. Well, everybody, until next time, nothing really matters. Love is all we need. Take us out. Take us out, Liberty. Take us.
Nothing really matters. Love is all we need.
Oh, so good.
Everything I give you all comes back to me.